Hello student, welcome to my class. Today I am going to take class 12 geography practical work. The book name is Practical Work in Geography Part 2. It is called Part 2 because it's Part 1 we have discussed in the practical book of class 11. So this is chapter 1 from this book, and the name of the chapter is Data, its Sources and Compilation, and this is part 3 of this first chapter. Earlier in the previous videos we have discussed is first and second part. So in this part we are going to discuss how the data is classified into different group or into different classes by keeping in mind the class interval. We decide the class interval, then we group the data in different classes by seeing the range of data, by analyzing the data, by using our common sense. We have to group the data into different classes. For example, this is the data you have collected. You have collected the data, you have written the raw data in the number form this way. You have written all the number. Then what you do after writing the number, what you do for easy presentation, for better presentation, what you do, you group this data. So now you have to group the data, then you have to decide the different classes of grouping, and you have to analyze this data, each and every number, and then you have to use your common sense and rational thinking and decide its classes. Like by seeing the previous data which I show you just now, we can group the data in the classes like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. This way you can decide the different classes of classifying the data. And you can see here we have put the class interval of 10. We have put 10 gaps in each class, like 0 to 10 gap is there. 10 to 20, again 10 gap is there. So what you are doing, you are grouping the data into different classes. You are deciding the class interval, and then you are doing the grouping. And when you are doing the grouping of data, then you have to use little of your rational thinking, and you have to see the range to which the data is extending, and then you have to decide the classes, and then after that you have to make the second column. So how you have made the second column, I will tell you. See, first one I will tell you, the next one the same rule will be followed. Like the first class is 0 to 10. So now in this slide, in the previous slide, we have to see what are the number is coming between 0 to 10. So this number is coming. Again, this number is also coming. This number is also coming, and this number is also coming. If this 4 number is coming into the category of 0 to 10, this 10 will not come under this category. Why 10 will not come under this category, I will explain you after a few minutes. But let me first tell you, this 4 is coming in 0 to 10 category. So what you have to do, you have to write these 4 numbers here: 02, 02, 09 and 06. Alright, now you have to show this number in the tally marks and then in the number form. This is the cross and 4 method. What is cross and 4 method? Cross and 4 and cross method is like when you denote, like here you have the 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3 and 4 number is there here, right? So you will denote this with the tally marks 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose if it is more than 4, like in the second category it is 5, then you have to show the 5 in this way. So what you are doing? You are doing 4 lines. You are making 4 lines, and then you are crossing the line, and that's why it is called 4 and cross. So when you make 4 line and cross it, it become 5. Alright. So I was explaining you how in the first category you made, first class, how you got these numbers. So what you saw, you made the class 0 to 10, then you saw how many numbers are there in 0 to 10, and then you find out that 0 to 10, 4 numbers are there. So you will make the tally marks of 4 line, and then you write the number here. Same way, then again you have to see how many numbers are coming between 10 to 20. You have to see the previous slide and see how many numbers are coming in between 10 to 20, and then you have to write those numbers here. And these are how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 numbers. So what you did, you presented it in the telemarks form. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 is the cross. And this way you have presented here. Alright. And the same number you have written here, 5. The same way you have to make the whole table. And when you make the whole table, you get the present the data in the telemarks or in a cross and 4 and cross method. And after that you have to see about the frequency distribution. So what does frequency mean? Frequency is the number of person or individual in a particular class. For example, in the previous table we saw that in between 0 to 10, 4 people are coming. So here the 4 is the frequency. Alright, so frequency is actually the value of variable or number of variable in different classes. And frequency is actually of two types. One is simple frequency and one is cumulative frequency. So first we will discuss what is simple frequency. Simple frequency is same what I am telling you. It is the number of individual in each class. So that is simple frequency, which is actually denoted by F. And when you calculate, when you make a sum total of all the frequency of different classes, you get sigma F. Sigma F is also denoted this way. Alright, then you get sigma F. When you add all the frequency of different classes, you get sigma F, or you get N. Right, sigma F is equal to N. And why it is called N? Because it is frequency is nothing but the number. Frequency is telling you the number of individual in each class. So frequency is just a number. So it is simple frequency. It is simple frequency is denoting you the number of individual in each class. It is denoted by F. And when you add all the F of different classes, you get sigma F or you get N. Alright. Now let me show you with an example. Like in the previous table, we made the classes of 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. And then we wrote the numbers here. How many numbers are there in each class? Like we saw in the previous table. Between 0 to 10, you had 4 numbers. And 10 to 20, you had 5 numbers. So all this is what? This all is frequency, number of individual in each class. And when you sum total all this frequency, when you total all this frequency, you will get sigma F or N, which will be equal to 60 when you add them. Alright, so this way you get your simple frequency. Now let us see how do we get cumulative frequency. See, cumulative frequency is denoted by CF, and it is obtained by adding the successive simple frequency in each group with the previous sum. Means you have to add the present frequency with the previous sum. I will explain you with the table and then you will understand in a better way. And this way when you get the cumulative frequency, the last cumulative frequency will be denoted by sigma F, and N is the last cumulative frequency will be same as sigma F or is equal to N. What is this mean? I will explain you with an example, then you will understand in a better way. And this cumulative frequency is very helpful in understanding or making out how many numbers are there. A simple frequency is actually the number in each groups and classes, and it can be explained with exclusive and inclusive method, but I will explain exclusive and inclusive method afterwards. But let me first show you how the cumulative frequency is calculated. See, simple frequency is calculated in a way you know it, because you have to just write how many people are there between 0 to 10, how many people are there between 10 to 20, then how many people are there between 20 to 30. This way you get the simple frequency. But how you get this cumulative frequency? You get cumulative frequency by taking the simple frequency of the present class by the sum total of the previous class. And when you add this one with this, you will get the cumulative frequency of this class. That is 9. In the first row, you don't have any previous class, so you will write the same. because in the previous class there is no previous class, so the previous cumulative frequency is assumed to be 0. So you have to 0 plus 4 will be 4. So here the cumulative frequency will be 4 only. But now in the next columns, what you have to do? You have to add the previous number with the present frequency and get the cumulative frequency of that class, and that is 9. Then again you add the 9, that is previous frequency, with the simple frequency of this class, that is add 9 with 5 and you will get 14. And then again you have to add the previous number 14 with the simple frequency of this class. 14 plus 7 is equal to 21. Alright. This way you are getting the cumulative frequency. How you are getting the cumulative frequency? You are adding the simple frequency of present class with the previous sum of previous classes, and this way you are getting the cumulative frequency. And when you get a cumulative frequency, you can see the last cumulative frequency. The last cumulative frequency is same as sigma f or n, which is equal to 60. Alright, so the last cumulative frequency will be same as this. So this way you calculate the simple frequency and the cumulative frequency. Now this simple frequency is actually done in a two method, and one is exclusive method and another one is inclusive method. So first we will discuss about the exclusive method. In the exclusive method, upper limit of one class or one group is same as the lower limit of the next group. Like if it is 5 to 10 class and then you have the 10 to 20 class, so you can see the lower limit of one class is the upper limit of one class is actually the lower limit of second class. The previous class upper limit is the present class lower limit. Here you can see the 10 is the upper limit here, because in 5 to 10 the 10 is the upper one, and this 10 has become the lower limit in the next class. It has become 10 to 20. Here the upper limit is 20. So the upper limit of one class has become the lower limit of another class, and that is come under exclusive method. So when you use the exclusive method, that time suppose the various classes are there, like of 1 to 5, 5 to 10. Then in this classes, where the number 5 will be included, because 5 is here, so the 5 is there, and here also the 5 is there. So the 5 will be excluded here and included here. It will be excluded in 1 to 5. Where the 5 is in upper limit, that 5 will not be included in that. So it is included where the number is in upper limit, whereas it is included in the next class, that is 5 to 10, where the 5 will be the lower limit. So the same number will be excluded where it formed the upper limit, and it will be included in the category where it formed the lower limit. Alright. Then what is inclusive method? In the inclusive method, what happened? Here the upper limit of one group is included in the same group. Means here, the upper limit of one group does not form the lower limit of second group. And like you have the 1 to 5 group and then 6 to 10 group. So here the 5 is not repeated here. So the number 5 will be included in this group only, because it is 1 to 5 and next group is 6 to 10. So you cannot include the number 5 in this. You can include number 5 in this. So here what is happening? The 5 is being included in where it is forming the upper limit. Alright. So this is called inclusive method. I will explain exclusive and inclusive method with example, which will make you understand in a better way. So you can see this is exclusive method. Here the classes are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. This is exclusive method. And in this class you can see the 10 is there in this class also and in this class also. So in the exclusive method it will not included here, it will be included here where it is forming the lower limit. Alright, now we will discuss the inclusive class. So in the inclusive class, the example is given here. You can see the classes are 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29. So what is happening? The number is not, the upper limit of one class is not forming the lower limit of another class. So In this way the classes are written, and so here the 9 number will be included in this only, because the another class start with 10. So here the upper limit is being included in the same class also. So this way you can show the data either in an exclusive method way or in an inclusive method way. Now let us discuss about frequency polygon. What is frequency polygon? Frequency polygon is the graph. When you calculate a simple frequency, when you plot those simple frequency in a graph paper, you will get a curve, and that curve is called frequency polygon. Then what is ogive? Ogive is actually, it is the curve which is obtained by the cumulative frequency. When you plot the cumulative frequency, then you get ogive. This ogive is also calculated in a two way. It is calculated in a less than method and more than method. So here you can see the frequency polygon. When you plot the simple frequency and then you make a curve, so the curve which you are getting after plotting the simple frequency is called frequency polygon. But now we have discussed the ogive. Ogive is of two types, less than method and more than method. In the less than method, what is given important? The upper limit is given important. So the upper limit of the class is going on adding the frequency. Like how we do it by taking the upper limit, I will show you with example and how it is added, and then when it is added, you will get a curve, and that curve will be rising curve. I will show you how. And the another method of obtaining the cumulative frequency is more than method. Here what happened, the lower limit of one class is given the importance. In this, the upper limit is given importance, and here the lower limit of a class is given importance. And this way the cumulative frequency is plotted, and when the cumulative frequency is plotted in this way, you get a frequency curve which is actually a declining curve, which is decreasing from top to bottom. So it is called declining method. For example, of less than method is this way. Like in 0 to 10, you are giving importance to 10, the upper limit you are giving importance. And 10 to 20, you are giving importance to 20. And here the cumulative frequency is written, and that cumulative frequency you have to plot here. Like here you can see in the axes I have written less than 10, less than 20, less than 30, less than 40. And then here the other numbers are there according to your data. And then you plot the number. How many people are less than 10? How many are less than 20? Then how many are less than 30? This way you plot the point and then join the point, and you will get the rising curve under the less than method. Alright. And same way you can make a more than method also. But in the more than method, the lower limit is given important. In the more than method, lower limit is given important, and the cumulative frequency is written in opposite way. In the earlier slide, you can see the cumulative frequency is written in this way. It is written from 4, 19, 14. But in the more than method, you will see the frequency is written in opposite way, from down to top. From 60 to 4 it is written. See, you can see here. You can see here it is written from top, from below to the below frequency. The last frequency is written on the top. Why it is written like this in the top? Because more than 0 means what are the numbers which are more than 0? So all the numbers were more than 0. So 60 will be written here. Then how many numbers are more than 10? Then the 56 will come this way. So here the cumulative frequency is written in a reverse way. So, alright, and then you plot this frequency in a graph, and then you will get a curve, and that will be a declining curve. So in the frequency distribution, you get a rising curve, you get a declining curve, and then you obtain a ogive by more than method also and by less than method also. So there are actually two method to present the ogive, that is cumulative frequency. Alright, and less than method and more than method. and then it is combinedly, it can be shown in the graph also. Like here you have the cumulative frequency, and this cumulative frequency is written in a reverse way, and both less than and more than method we will show together in a graph. So what is happening here? You have not made less than 0 or more than 10, not like this way. You have made the grouping this way, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and then you plot this frequency, cumulative frequency in less than and more than method, and then you get a graph which will cut each other, and this way you can show both more than method graph and less than method graph in one graph only. And that's all in this chapter. We have discussed about the data, its various sources, and about the tabulation of data, and about the frequency distribution and its graph. So I hope you understand this chapter. If you understand this chapter, please like, share and subscribe MP Social View. In the fourth part of this video, I will show you the practical book of my student to give you an idea that how you can make the practical book of your class 12th. Thanks student. Thank you so much. Happy learning.